Simp. Simp. Don't me. Simp. Also, you should accept the Gummy Club group invitation on Steam. Man, you can't man me either, man. Simp. Anyway, ようこそだにゃ。いかずちさん。いいじゃんくん、気になる論外。
データをロードするわよ。覚悟はいい？
Jeez. ちょっと待って。
失礼しました。
Please not too loud. You can also switch your CSGO clan tag to that if you go to settings and then game. There should be an option. But yeah. Hello. Hello. Oh, here we go. At lunch break, again I were called to the staff room. It's because we were both absent yesterday. Rip. Yep. Oh, I remember that, the bucket list. We told the truth and said we were hanging out and got a really severe scolding from our homeroom teacher. Well, that can't be helped. It's a good thing they didn't contact our parents. Yeah. Aga isn't her usual cheerful self this morning. I said something terrible yesterday, didn't I? I couldn't stop myself from getting angry. No, don't worry about it. No, Botori understood why you did that. Actually, she was regretting it too. The fact that she had an argument with Aga. No, that's not it. I think that maybe the reason why I got angry then was because she was exactly right. And she said that I kiss up to everyone to make them like me. Ooh. I mean... yeah. You don't kiss up to people though, do you? I wonder. There are lots of people who I get along with. But right now there are no people that I feel are my close friends. The way I do when I hang out with you and the others. I guess that Agea can get along with anyone, but it doesn't feel like there's anybody she's particularly close to. To be honest, I thought that was a little strange. I'm the same. I get along with everyone in the cycle racing club, but I couldn't talk to them in the same way I can talk to you guys. That is a question of time. I haven't spent the same amount of time with them. Me, Aga, and the others were each other's very first friends here, in this neighborhood, back before I can even remember. If there was anyone else who I got along with... Uh-oh. Looks like someone's calling Ika. Idiot! Moron! Knucklehead! Haha. Suddenly, all those insults bring to mind. Do we really get along? It was true that the teacher asked me to do it. I was told to make it easy for her to join in with everyone. Even if you weren't told to, you were worried about Kotori anyway, weren't you? That's what I thought, but I wasn't sure I could do anything about it. In the end, it had the opposite effect. Kotori's taking a day off school today too. Agya thought it was her fault and was blaming herself. This morning when I woke up, Kotori had already left. There were signs that the kitchen had been messed up, and it looked like she had been searching for the withdrawal notice that I hid. Actually, it was in the drawer in my room. It's not your fault that Kotori hasn't come to school. Why do you think that? It's not just what I think, I'm almost completely certain. The truth is... I remember that we were in the hallway of the school and took a quick look around. There was nobody passing, so I didn't have to worry about anyone hearing. Kotori wants to quit school. Yeah. From a long time ago, seems like she had decided before I came back here. I was surprised to hear this out of the blue and didn't say anything. It's not because she argued with the girls in the class, there's a deeper reason for it. I think that is also the reason for her recent behavior and attitude. But that's also why she didn't join the Soaring Club. Yeah, since she was planning to quit school soon, she thought it would just cause problems for us. Is that so? So yesterday's argument was because you both misunderstood each other. That can't be it. We still haven't cleared things up since the argument. If Kotori disappears as things are now, I don't know what I'll do. Agya takes her unfocused anger out on me by hitting my chest. Ow. Should have told me that sooner, you idiot. I only found out by coincidence. Also, ouch. I can't just go around telling other people our secrets, can I? I just picked up the withdrawal notice by coincidence, so I didn't know when she was planning on submitting it, or even if she was really serious about it. I couldn't exactly ask her about it either. What? But I'm sorry, okay? Jeez, that hurts. Seriously, stop punching me. Then I thought that she didn't want to quit school anymore. She'd been coming to school, helping with the meal preparations at the dormitory, and it looked like she was enjoying herself. I just assumed that everything was okay now. On the way home today, I'm going there to apologize. Oh wait, come with me. Yeah, sure. In an attempt to offer some comfort to Agaha, who was now crying, I stroked her head. Man! Soon. Anyway, today is Friday. It was the deadline of the grace period for gathering club members, given to us by the student council vice president Akari Kumai. Ooh, oh boy. After school, Aga and I, and then one other person, went to the Soaring Club's garage. The vice president came to see the four of us one by one, including club leader Amane as we lined up. Kanako. Angry. This is Kimi's mood all the time. Open parentheses, angry. Close parentheses. That's her mood all the time. This is Yo Kimi mood. Really? Hi Kimi. Look at this simp. A vein was clearly visible on the vice president's top. Oh, just like Kimi. Wow. Who is this? Me, that's rude. Excuse? No. No excuse. What do you mean? She's the new member. I'm the new club member. Kanako Shigure. Shigure. Rejected. Huh. What? Please explain. Yes. Oh my god. I told you that ghost members wouldn't be accepted. What exactly are you assuming here? This is the tyranny of the student council. Yes. What's wrong with me longing for the sky? 6 previous cases. This person is a repeat offender of acting as a ghost man. Oh my god. Kanako. Man. She looks unsurprised. She's like, yeah, I guess I got caught again. Oh well. God damn it, Kanako. Well, we tried. Well, I get bored easily. That is why I rejected. Come on, it's okay, isn't it? We're in the same class, aren't we? You two are in the same class? I guess they are in the same grade. Come on, Akari-chan. Please don't cling to me like that. She gets rid of Kanako with a flat refusal. It seems that she's used to dealing with her. Are there any other members? Oh my god. No. In that case, the club status is repealed. Vice President. Here. Amana sheepishly passes her a printed out piece of paper. It was the results of the Soaring Club's activities that she had compiled. What do you think? In all of these years, you have only flown once, a few days ago. Also, the fact that this occurred during lesson time is an outrage. You're not aiming to take part in any competitions, don't participate in school festivals, and you haven't really provided any announcement of your work or research. This falls into the category of an extremely individual hobby. Wouldn't this be the kind of activity in which a circle would be involved? Yes. You can't just meekly admit it like that. It's not good, is it, Vice President? Whatever happens, there's a place I'd like to go to. There was something that sounded like a desperate appeal in Amane's voice. A place you'd like to go to. I promise, Iska. The Vice President said nothing as she looked at her, as if trying to figure out the true meaning. That's right. There are only 3 members, which is not enough. There have been no research announcements, however. You. The Vice President looked as if she was about to say something very important, and looked behind us towards the back of the garage. Yokoso da niya, that one guy. Kotori. There was Kotori. She had entered at some point.
返すものがあって
I have something to give back, she said to Amane.
私にかい
To me. But Kotori did not come towards us. Next to the glider, with its sheet removed, she was looking down slightly at something on her lap. Amane walked over to her.
なんだい
What is it?
これが完成すれば
Once this is complete, will it fly above the clouds? Eh? Kotori looked at the white, sleek aircraft, and then she held out the thing that was on her lap. A photograph. Oh. Was that the photo that's supposed to be in the picture frame?
ここに
Can it go to this place? This is... When Amane saw it, she was wide-eyed with surprise.
写真
This photo... Where did you find it? Tears welled up in her eyes. God. What?
なんなの
What is it? I don't know. Again, I walked over there to take a look at the photograph that Kotori was holding. It was a photograph of clouds. A sunset dyed in indigo and orange, or was it sunrise? In the beautifully colored clear morning glow was a huge row of clouds, which looked just like a passage extending across the sky. This must be the passage of clouds. Go in it.
綺麗
That's beautiful. Yeah. Again, Kanako and the vice president were all fascinated by the miraculous spectacle shown in the photograph.
この場所に行けるの
Can it go to this place? Kotori asked again. For a moment, I couldn't make the mental connection between the question and the view in the photograph. That was because it was a place too far away to be associated with the word go. This place.
ここに行くの
Will it go to this place? Above the clouds. Riding this glider. As I look at the photograph, I envision the white aircraft without an engine, flying across the sky that I remember being so graceful, great, and solemn. That really was a miraculous sight. All of us, even Akari, held our breath as we waited for Amane's answer. Can it go to this place? Yeah, it can go there. She murmured as she took the photograph and looked at it nostalgically. That's what Isuka said. She's a genius. Amane, who had until just now had tears in her eyes, smiled happily as she said that name. I want to join too.
私み
That's if someone like me, it won't be a burden. She spoke with both fear and a lack of confidence in her voice. However, in her eyes seemed to be a strong determination. When Amane saw those eyes, she answered.
もちろん
Of course, you're very welcome. Wait, what was that? Was the prologue? Oh my god! Oh, I hate you! I hate you! What the fuck? That was a prologue!
線まで広がる空完成の彼方追いかけたら
Oh my god.
繋いだ願い
Oh, you.
自由を手に入れたくてあの空の果てまで傾いた心
What? Oh, you are. You. You're bluffing. Huh? Huh? Uh,
綺麗な写真だったね。
Okay. Just so we're clear here, let me check the VN. Let me check the VN playlist. Okay. So, this is part 5 of If My Heart Had Wings. 2, 4, 6, 8. We are almost 10 hours in. Oh my god. You... Okay. 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 Well then. Wow, that was such a pretty photo, wasn't it? Yes, it was. Oh, are you feeling cranky, Akari? No, not at all. Kotori appeared just as you were about to bring down a rain of pain upon them. They just thought that you were a nagging, angry kind of person, didn't they, Akari? Don't sound so happy when you say that. I'm the one who accepted this thankless task. I'm the only one who understands you. Isn't that right, Akari-chan? Thanks. Could you let go of me? That face! Oh my god. It's not that I'm in a bad mood or anything. It's just that I've been thinking. Hey, Kanako. Yeah? That transfer student. Who is he? He's the dorm mother. Dorm mother? Yeah, he's a nice guy. Have you fallen for him? Don't be so— oh my god, I'm out. Can we talk, okay? Can we gather everyone around that exists in this VA? Okay, thank you. So, welcome to the first meeting of not falling in love for 5 seconds. Okay. He's only just transferred here, but he can already handle the antisocial senior Mochizuki so well. I just thought he was very astute, that's all. Are you praising him? Yes. Huh. Man. Oh, we're off to a great start. See, this is great. This is great. For now, the number of members needed for the club had been reached, and the vice president left the garage, together with Kanako. The rest of us continued to look at the photograph that Kotori had brought. Such a beautiful sky. But these clouds are a very unusual shape. Yeah, I've never seen clouds like this before. Me neither. These clouds appeared before you or I were born. Before we were born? What on earth is this photograph? It was a really beautiful photograph. However, it was the same as the pictures in old photo albums, the sort that you would take to the Photoshop to have developed, and was printed on paper with logos on the back. This phenomenon is known as morning glory. Oh, that kinda sounds... It only occurs under certain conditions. Why does that sound similar to Morningwood? That is not a very appealing name, but okay, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. It's a path of clouds in the sky, several kilometers long. A path of clouds like this, several kilometers long. It's a very rare phenomenon, and the most recent occurrence was 26 years ago. The Soaring Club members at the time flew in the glider and took this photograph. Wow. So that means... this photo was taken in Kazugawara. Yes, it was. Was the one who took the photo one of the old members of the club? Yes, that's right. To think that this amazing spectacle occurred right here, in my hometown, and the person who took the photograph was a member of the club to which I now belong. Even though the thing that I thought was so far away has now become a lot closer, it still doesn't seem real somehow. I think that I felt something along the lines of, dude, that's amazing. Hold on a second. Her face looked like she was about to say, I've just realized something really important. What is it? Did you say that they flew the glider and took this photo? Yes, I did. That's what it says in the flight log. So that means... Again, I take another look at the photograph. If you wanted to take a photograph from above the clouds, at the very least, the camera would have to be in a position higher than the clouds. Did the glider actually fly this high? Well, yes. The physical evidence is right there in front of you. Again, I turn to look at the white aircraft. I don't know how many meters it was, and this wasn't just imagination. But when I picture actually flying this thing above the clouds, it looks kind of unreliable. Before I came to the school, the Soaring Club had already lost its status as a club, and all that was left of it was the equipment that was in here. The same goes for this photograph, it was also left here. Amina takes the photograph in her hand and squints her eyes with nostalgia. This is where Isuka wanted to go. Isuka and I wanted to go to this place, and that's why we started constructing the glider. Isuka. There's that name again. Whenever Amina says that name, she becomes very nostalgic. Who is this Isuka person? Here. While we were talking, Kotori was listening quietly, but then held out the notebook to Amine. I thought I'd seen it somewhere before. It was the notebook with the things I want to do list. The photos was inside this. This is Isuka's flight log. Why do you have this? Oh boy. Kotori is like a zigzagoo. She just picks up whatever she finds on the ground. It's adorable. It's cute, but you know. God dang, Kotori. Just pick up everything. It was at the dormitory, ma'am. Oh, there you go. So it was found in the dormitory. You by any chance living in Flying Fish Manor? A little surprised to hear that name all of a sudden. Kotori nodded. It was hidden in the gap between the shelves. It looks like a diary inside. There are things about the glider. And about you written in it. Huh? Me? Yes, maybe. You're Isuka's close friend, aren't you? For some reason, Amina didn't answer, and looked at the worn cover of the notebook. I read this and then became interested in gliders. Using only its wings, it uses the wind to fly across the sky. An aircraft that's just like a bird. To aim to fly above the clouds and something like that, I thought that was amazing. But I thought it was much further back in the past. When I looked at the dates, I thought that Isuka and the others must have graduated already. I didn't think that it would still be going on now. But if you were interested in gliders, Why didn't you come to check out the Soaring Club? I asked in a light-hearted manner. Actually, she was so interested in them that just looking at the real glider makes her eyes sparkle with wonder. The owner of the diary might no longer be around, though. That's... well... Kotori held tightly to the hem of her skirt. I didn't think they'd let me join. Ah, I know how that feels. Yo, mood. Kotori. Yeah, no. Anxiety be a bitch. Listening to her words, I felt a dull pain coming from my right knee. Somewhere that she couldn't enter. That's what she believed, and that's why she didn't try to find out about the current status of the Soaring Club. It might have been similar to me. After I injured my knee and tried to avoid hearing any information about the cycle racing club, the more I knew, the more envious I would become. That's why I was surprised when I saw the glider flying over Windmill Hill. I was so excited, I could feel my heart pounding. That was the time that Kotori and I first met. In that beautiful landscape, Kotori watched the white aircraft flying over with such enthusiasm. Really? When Amane heard Kotori's story, she took a deep breath. Can I take a look? Yeah. Amane put the book on the table, but didn't read it straight away, and instead went to boil some water in the electric kettle first. Then she prepared the tea set. When the pleasant aroma of the tea started to fill the air, Amane sat down and finally turned to the first page. Her cheeks went slightly pink and her eyes seemed kind of nervous. Amane's eyes moved from left to right across the page, slowly, carefully. It felt to me that she was digesting it one letter at a time. Boba. She took a sip of the boiling tea. She placed the cup back on the saucer and then turned to the next page. She began to smile. Maybe something fun was written there. She giggled as if she had become lost in memories. The nervousness that was in her eyes when reading the first page had disappeared. She's smiling. Yeah. It was a calm and happy smile. Or so we thought. Then looking at the next page, she opened her eyes wide. There must be something surprising written on that page. From the look on her face, she seemed taken aback as she continued to read. After that, Amane's expression continued to change as she turned the pages. She smiled, seemed surprised, looked troubled, appeared to be sulking, and then smiled again. Hey, what kind of things are written there? It's a record of the Soaring Club's activities. Well, I say that, but most of it is just a normal diary. It's about how Iska spent every day with her best friend. It's written in really bad handwriting, so it's hard to read. Ooh. Amane's best friend, huh? I wonder what sort of person Iska is. Strange, probably. Playing tricks on people and surprising them, throwing pies in the dormitory dining hall. But when you read it, it had an effect on you, didn't it? Yeah. It seemed really fun. Where is she? Is she out of town? I know she graduated. Is she dead? I hope not, because I'll be sad. You could tell by the look on Amine's face that Iska's flight log was full of funny stories. It was also proof that the time they spent together was equally fun. When she reached what was probably the last page of the diary, yep. Amane had tears in her eyes. As Amane smiled nostalgically, a clear drop ran down from the corner of her squinted eye. Oh, something sad written in there. But she's smiling. The log stops halfway through. The last thing that was written there was things I want to do. The page that we were looking at. I want to pass through the passage of cloud. Amane mumbled in a quiet voice before bursting into tears, while still smiling. She must have been smiling because she was happy. And the tears must have been because it was all in the past. Just looking at her made me feel a terrible pain inside, like my chest was closing up. Yo, mood? I feel that all the time, bro. After reading the last page, she closed the notebook and then went back to the first page. This is now the third time. Even so, she reads it with the same happiness, surprise, worry and nostalgia as if she were reading it for the first time. We quietly watch her as she repeated this again and again. The tea that Chio has only taken one sip from would definitely have been cold by now, but it looked like she had totally forgotten about it. Looks like you have no choice but to leave her to it for now. You're right. There's so many things I want to talk to her about, but it doesn't feel like now's a good time to speak. As we leave the garage, the sky is filled with the colors of sunset. With a deeper red than sunrise, the darkness of night approached from the eastern sky. The photo of the clouds was really pretty, wasn't it? Yeah. Will we go to that place? I can't seem to be saying I'm itching to go. I felt the same way. Well then, I'm just gonna go and show my face at the Robot Club. I'm in 2 clubs at once, but I don't go there every day. You don't seem that busy either, so it should be okay, right? Even if she's also in another club, it's great that she's here. Sorry for all the trouble. No, it's fine, buddy. Agia gives me a punch in the shoulder, and turns around to Kotori, who had left a little later but was following us. Kotori? I'm sorry about yesterday. Agia bowed her head with great momentum. It's fine. I don't think you have anything to apologize for. I didn't know about your situation. Despite that, I spoke to you as if I knew what was going on. I'm really sorry. Uh-oh, you told her. Kotori glanced at me. She must have realized that I had told Agia about her wanting to quit school and so on. I'm glad you realized that. What a tsundere. Kotori, imagine being friends with a tsundere, right? Man, must be a pain in the ass being friends with a tsundere. You just never know how they actually feel. Shut up, Ika. Kotori turns her head sideways in an aloof manner as she speaks. I storm over towards Kotori and... The fuck? Whoa! I give her a karate chop to the top of her head. What are you doing? From now on, every time you take that kind of attitude, I'm gonna give you a chop. What? You're gonna give her a chop every time she becomes a tsundere? Yo, that's abuse. That's abuse. Huh? Kotori reeled back. Then she looked at me with eyes like a demon or an ogre. What gives you the right to do that? Come on now. You got something to say, haven't you? I'm sorry. I said too much too. You don't kiss up to people, you're just kind to the point of it being annoying. No. Hey, that hurts, you know. If it didn't hurt, you wouldn't remember. She looked at me with anger in her eyes as she rubbed the top of her head and that sideways aloof face thing and pushed her wheelchair along. Bleh. Wow, Oi. Can't believe you could karate chop a pretty little girl like Kotori. I guess a little stunned as she speaks. Well then, I'm off now, you'd better go after Kotori. Yeah, see ya. See you. Agela, who looks like she's skipping as she walks, turns to head towards the school building. But she stopped halfway. Looks like things will be interesting from tomorrow, she called out in a big voice. I caught up with Kotori, who had a meek expression on her face as she quietly pushed her wheelchair along. You want me to push you? No, I don't. I don't know how tiring it is to push a wheelchair along, but if I tried to travel the same distance I would normally walk by using my hands, I would definitely find it tiring. I went behind her and pushed the wheelchair. I said I don't want you to push me. I told you that I'd help you, didn't I? I'm not gonna do it all the time, but when my hands are empty, you can rely on me. There's no reason to have you do that for me. Yes, there is. What's that then? Because we're friends. I felt a little embarrassed as I said that. I think that if I hadn't been facing her back at the time, I wouldn't have been able to have said that. Since when have we been friends? Yesterday, we were hanging out, weren't we? That means we're already friends, right? Generally speaking, it wouldn't be incorrect to say so. Kotori stays tight-lipped and doesn't answer. For a while, we don't say anything as we follow the road back. Aren't you going to ask me why I decided to stay? I don't know if I want to ask or not. The main thing is the fact that you're staying. That withdrawal notice, could you hold on to it for a little while longer? Sure. So she's not going to throw it away. To me, this place is like the last bastion. I don't know if I can stay here indefinitely like Amane, but I want to stay a little longer. But sometimes I lose heart. I may not look like it, but I have a lot of worries. Seems like she's trying to say, I may be a tough girl, but you just look like a crybaby. Okay. If I said that, she'd just get mad, so I kept quiet. That's why I want you to hold on to it. Would that be okay? She suddenly seemed to lose her resolve, and she turns around to glance at me. Why me? That question comes to mind, but I don't say anything. I think the fact that it was me makes me quite happy, to be honest. That's fine, but I have one condition. What? Kotori puts her guard up. She looks as though she thinks I have another crazy demand to make. You talk to me like I'm a stranger. I want you to use my name more. Oh boy. Huh? You always refer to me as you or him. But I want you to call me away. We're friends now. Would that be a problem? Don't you think of me as your friend? I'm a little anxious as I ask her. No, that's not it. It's just that you... No, I mean... Aoi... Oh shit, here we go. See? It seems weird. Please understand, she seemed to say as she bent forward. Kotori, why do you find it so strange to say my name? We don't know each other well enough to be on a first-name basis. I saw your tits when you were going into the bathtub. It was censored, but the uncensored version is canon, so... Well, never mind. Come on, let's go. Miss Habane. It's okay. I don't mind if you call me Kotori. Okay, let's go, Kotori. Kotori had a look on her face that indicated a complex mix of emotions, awkward and shy at the same time. We'll definitely go there. Above the clouds. Yeah. There are wispy clouds in the sunset sky. From now on, whenever we look up at the sky, we'll be thinking about this. I'm gonna fly. My heart was beating frighteningly quickly. Oh, welcome to my world. She's still going at it. Holy shit. You must love her a lot, don't you? You want to pass through the passage of a cloud. That's what you always said, Iska. It's dark. When did it become nighttime? My tea's gone cold. Has everyone gone home? I didn't think I would be able to continue here. Iska, you reached them, didn't you? You brought them here. Oh, she is dead. Oh, no. It looks like I can keep going. Just a little longer, until the end of the summer. Huh? Wait, what's that supposed to mean? Oh, wait. Sus. Quickly. There's no need to rush. I just finished at the cash register at the convenience store. And then I went after Kotori, who had left first and had the convenience store bag on her lap. Then I hold on to the grip of the wheelchair. Let's go, Kotori. Hold on tight. Alright, here we go. Following Kotori's command, I pushed the wheelchair forward at breakneck speed. Hey, are you okay? I'm okay. I'm completely fine. I pushed out my chest to try to show that I'm okay, but I can't hide the fact that I'm out of breath. My stamina's gotten worse. I've been pushing the wheelchair while running up until now, but I was reminded of how much my stamina had decreased. I couldn't help but notice, so Kotori took a sports drink out of the convenience store bag. Aoi-kun? Oh boy. Here you go, Aoi. Thanks. I'm getting a bit carried away. Is your knee okay? My knee? Yeah, no problem. I think. According to the doctor, I shouldn't have any difficulty with everyday life. The problem is whether or not this is above the normal level of everyday activity or not. I told you halfway that you could stop, but in the end, you ran all the way to school. Since this morning, I had been in high spirits, and the effect hadn't worn off yet, for some reason. It's because our club activities are finally about to start. Today's Saturday, a day off, but we intentionally got up early and came to school. You went through all the effort to get better, so take care of yourself, okay? You're right. We're duck. No duck yet. Only tsundere. Yokoso danya niyo. As I speak, I move the bottle up to my mouth. I've been sweating a lot, so my body quickly absorbs the water. Also, you guys free to play CSGO after this? No, Dio, not the me. Don't me, you bastard. What's that about your knee? From out of nowhere, a guy appeared right next to me. It's nothing. No big deal. I'm free. Cool. CSGO. CSGO. Morning, Kotori. Morning, Haga. Me not. Gotta plow through assignments. Oh, jeez. Kotori seems a little embarrassed as Aga speaks to her. You got there first. Nope. I saw you guys racing along at top speed and I followed you. Is that so? I didn't realize. That's the first time I'd seen someone running and pushing a wheelchair. Oh wait. I'll go on ahead, okay? Kotori was being careful around Aga and spoke like she was uncomfortable as she went on ahead. Rather than being annoyed, she seemed more embarrassed than anything. I think Aga understands that too, but... Aoi? What? Oh, nothing. Well then, I'm going on ahead now too. Wait, what route you headed? Nothing. No, none yet. The game hasn't given me a choice yet, so... So yeah. Oh, this is the funny Neo. Did you know that as I was playing this, halfway through, the intro to the game played. So me in the chat was like, that was the prologue? We've been playing for 10 hours now. Total. Oh, and my voice is starting to die. Lovely, hold on. So yeah, I was surprised, like, that was the prologue? What the fuck? Oh my god, it's gonna be a long ass game. Also, let me show you guys a Poggies. This is courtesy of Kimi. Thanks, Kimi, by the way. I wasn't able to show this, but yeah, look at that, look at that, look. Thanks, Kimi. Yeah. Oh, we pogging it once release. Elderly Ring, crazy. Yes. Okay. Oh, well, I'm going on ahead now too. Oh, she's sus. She's looking sus at us. See you, Aoi. Seeming like she had enough of talking to me, Aga also went on ahead. Hey, wait. Aga. I chased after the two of them and we head to the garage. What's up? Amanda was already inside the garage. Oh. Booba. Amanda was making a serious face in front of the drawing board. She's really concentrating and hasn't noticed us. For a moment, I wasn't sure if I should call out to her. But if you don't say anything, how many hours would she be doing that for? Hi there, Amani. That is a bad intro. Huh? It's you guys. Huh? I mean it's you guys. What's up, Amani? What's up? Aga and Kotori copied the greeting that I use. From today, we'll do our best. Amina points at me and makes a troubled face. You there? What's your name? Oh, cup! You never told her your name? Bro, what the fuck? Did we tell her our name? I don't think we did, actually, now that I think about it. That's right, I never once told her my name. Ah, yes. Yep. Bro, what the fuck? You know, for anyone watching that's rich or a billionaire out there, I don't care who you are, Rockefeller, whatever, Elon Musk, can we... I don't care about privacy, but can we have like floating nameplates above our heads in real life? Someone make that. Someone who knows robotics or whatever. Just floating nameplates so we know who each person is. It's gonna be chaotic in crowded places because there's gonna be nameplates everywhere, but still just... Even though we've met several times. Oh, you mean to say? Second grade, class A. I give a very sharp self-introduction and the others do likewise. Also from the 2nd grade, class A, Aga Himeki. Also from 2nd grade, class A, Kotori Habane. Turned the world into GTA Online lobby. Yeah. Aoi, Aga, Kotori. Aoi, Aga, Kotori. She confirms our faces and names in order. I'm from the 5th grade, class C. Or was it D? Oh, you're D, alright. Yeah. You're D, alright. C? Nah, maybe. But D? Oh, yeah. Yeah, she's D, alright. Amane Mochizuki. She misses so many lessons, she doesn't even know which class she's in, it seems. Thanks for yesterday. Because of you guys, I can continue to stay here. We're somehow very grateful to hear these words of thanks from Amane. Is it really alright for us to— You can't block me. She was unsure as to whether she would accept new members. As she found the answer she was looking for, then... Oh yeah, you welcome you all. Welcome to the Soaring Club. I don't know what she was worrying about, or how she arrived at her answer, but it somehow seemed that there was no problem with us joining the club. Well then, let's do our best. She said that like she was just throwing it out there, before returning to a drawing board. She stares at the diagram with a serious look on her face. Amane. Yes? What should we be doing? Oh, we just chill. Oh, that's right. Make yourselves at home, have a cup of tea. There's some manga books on that shelf there. Oh. On that shelf was every volume of Slam Dunk. Are you allowed to say that? Slam Dunk? Really? Okay. The covers were faded and seemed like they'd seen many years of service. Dunk Slam. The two girls both make faces that say, "This isn't what I thought it would be like." Okay, so here's a funny story. For a short while in Japan, right? Back in Kyoto, while I was in, I think I was on my 3rd year. I was in a club that was just all like a video game nerdy-ish focused, right? It was just called the hobbies and I think it was called the Hobbies and Leisure Club. So there were some Huffs there and foreigners as well, so it was kind of the only place I could go to without being judged. But literally there was nothing to do, like club day, right? Back in my school, it was every Thursday and Friday. It wasn't every day, but there were months where there was like a week of like club activities. And legit, you don't do anything. It was just chill time. You could pull out your phone, you could pull out your tablet, you could do whatever, right? There were some guys who bought their like PSPs, some guys that had like fucking there were 3 TV sets there. So it's like, okay. Playing old games and shit here. So that was about it. There wasn't a lot. I never and what's funny is that I don't even know if we asked for each other's names either. I knew a couple of them. Because I only knew a couple of them, but I don't think we ever proper introduced ourselves to each other. So it was all like, oh shit, just faces that you see after school. So, yeah, at the time, all I did was grab my iPad. I have an iPad, so... So I was just playing rhythm games on it. I was just playing like Citus on my iPad and other random shit. That was the only thing I could do. I I also remember I had a PSP, which is a blue one. It was a PSP 3000, and I would just play Taiko or whatever the fuck I could play on there. Any emulator games. And the club had this like the consoles that were connected to the TV. You had like a PS2, there was a Famicom over at the corner, and there was even a Sega. There was even a Dreamcast there. So again, it was just random shit. You go there, you just stay there for the required quote-unquote amount of hours that the school tells you to, because the clubs do keep track of your attendance, and they submit it to the school, and they have to make sure, okay, you've been in attendance for this club for like 30 hours this month. Okay, cool. So that's like 1 hour a day, right? Or like, sorry, 2 hours a day. So that was like, okay, and after that, that's all you needed. Everyone just wanted to get their grades for their club activities, make sure that they were there, and that was about it. We never really talked to each other much. We played a couple of games. You would be like, there would be multiplayer sessions, but no one would be talking to each other, just like, oh, cool, I guess. I would just be in the corner, right? Because the club had like 2 tables set up. It was like a regular classroom, but 2 tables set up towards the doors, and there were 8 chairs each. So I would just be in the corner, right there in the corner near the lockers and the bookshelves, and I would just sit there, play on my iPad until the bell rang. So I was like, oh, okay, just chill. Right? A lot of guys also had their earphones on, so just listening to music while like some people would do their assignments there. So it was mostly just that. There's nothing to do, just chill. So anyway, continuing on. My face might have been the same. Is there anything for us to do? I told you. Read some manga. Not that. Something to do with the glider. Huh? We really want to get involved with the glider. Amane opened their eyes wide. Is that so? You guys are strange. What? Listening to my music in the game. Yeah, exactly, Neo. I don't want to hear that from you. Amane, could it be that we're in your way by joining the club? She didn't want anyone coming near this garage, did she? No, that's not true. It's just that I've been doing this by myself until now, so I don't know what you can do. When Amane was within 1 step of the national championship of the Robot Club, it seems she did most of that by herself. She's typical of the type of person who's no good with social situations. You're a fine one to talk. Excuse me, can I ask a question? Agia raised her hand. Go ahead. Specifically speaking, what are the activities that this club is involved in? Agia asks a fundamental question. I feel like she has been asked a similar question before, but at that time, was only asked for a summary. If we're actually going to take part in this club, we need her to tell us more specific information. Well, we make gliders and fly. That's it. I think everyone knows that already. Making or flying, which is the main objective. After building it, then you'll fly it. Isn't that what normally happens? But you're not aiming to enter competitions or anything, are you? That's right, I'm not. She answered bluntly and without even a shred of interest. So the main objective is to build it, then? No, that's wrong. Flying above the clouds is the objective, right? Amane somehow lacks confidence when she nods. How far have you got with the glider? A few days ago, I finally finished assembling it and went for a test flight, but it crashed in the water. As someone explains, she moves to inside the garage. The main wing snapped. In the corner of the garage were the broken wings. It looks like they weren't strong enough. Now, I'm reviewing the designs, but looking at the twisted wings, Samana lets out a little groan. I've redone the strength calculations, but this time, I can't find where the problem is. I don't know the reason, so I've got a problem. If Amane doesn't understand, there's no way we will. I thought to myself as Agia got close to Amane and checked the broken parts of the main wings. Then,
ああ、こりゃ折れるわ。
yep, this will snap, she stated
どう
simply.
してわかるんだ？
How do you know?
だってほら、ここ
See here? The thickness is
バ
uneven,
ラバラだし
and it's distorted in places. Oh,
この
so it is.
方法が雑だから
The construction methods are too
普段の
rough,
負荷に耐えきれない
and the joints couldn't withstand the load and it cracked. Yikes. Amane feels in shock. Is that what it was? And then, it's because I'm not so good with my hands. All you can use are Man, I should really shut up sometimes, you know? She becomes timid. You made this by hand, piece by piece.
全てを私
I
が
didn't do it all myself, but the fuselage is handmade. This
手作り
is handmade. Kotori and I were pretty surprised by this, but Agia didn't seem to make much of a big deal about it. I see, it's rough. I see, it's rough. Ah, dang. It's no good, she's totally depressed.
葵君が手に入れ
Because of the parts that Oi got, I was able to fix the malfunction of the instruments. If I can just get the main wings repaired, it can go on another test flight. Are you going to do the wing repairs by hand too?
うんもちろん
Yeah, of course. Agia takes a part of the wing that isn't snapped and checks it over. With a troubled look on her
こりゃ
face.
翼は
Wouldn't it be
一
better
から
to build the
取り
wings from
直すのに
scratch?
出ないと
If you don't, then other parts might snap too, you know. I mean, she's right, I think everyone knows that. Yeah, no, when something's... Yeah. The structural integrity of things that are already broken, you can't just recycle that. There might be microfractures in it that you're gonna have to be careful of. Amane looks like she's going to cry. What? Come on. Alright, we'll help. Don't worry, it's fine. This is fiber reinforced plastic, right? I've worked with this before. I might be able to do something about this. We should start immediately. That way, we can fly sooner, right? The motivation of the three new members has returned, and now we feel excited about it. I really want to do that too, but unfortunately there are no materials. There are lots of parts that can be used for repairs. To make something of this size from scratch would require large amounts. How do you usually get things like that? Mail order. How much did you spend on this, Amane? Amane goes to the mail order materials website on the laptop connected to the internet. If we make the main wings, we need about this much, said Amane as she entered a number. That's not a bad price, but there's no way we afford that on the club budget. Yikes. I don't know how much the budget is for the Soaring Club, but the price displayed on the mail order site's input page was no small amount. Well, that's no problem. Like, what? You can't. Did you just spend all of our fiberglass? Ooh, fiberglass. Yikes. Deal. Look, I've worked with well, I worked with fiberglass, but I know some people who have worked and made fiberglass. That shit's dangerous to work with. No. We don't. No. There was someone that worked with fiberglass, and then shards are still on his forehead and on his there was barely, even with protection, fiberglass can be really dangerous to work with. At least making it, yeah. So, but using fiberglass is fine. It's making fiberglass that's an issue. Amane completed the order. Is that okay? Amane. Yeah, that amount of money should be no problem at all. What? How much was it? What do you mean no problem? Could it be that when it comes to a club budget, the Soaring Club gets preferential treatment? It'll take a while for it to arrive, then the construction work can begin. Which means that we don't have anything to do after all. Until then, what should we do? Read some manga books or something. With that order, the Soaring Club leader went back to staring at the design she was working on. Well, there we go. Even if we say we got nothing to do, it's not like there's nothing whatsoever for us to do. We were still beginners when it came to gliders, so we took some books from the shelf and started our own little study session. Aerodynamics, glider construction, and so on. As for the basics on how aircraft fly, we were told that before by Amane. In terms of the various methods of creating what is known as lift, the more we found out, the more interesting it became. And then, it was noon. That's tasty. That was the first intake of calories I've had in a while. Amane was already enjoying eating the bread and rice balls that Kotori and I bought at the convenience store this morning. Just for reference, I'd like to ask you, how long has it been since you last ate? I get asked that questions a lot of times. And the question's always, 24 hours ago. 46 hours ago. You know what? Yeah, not bad. That time it was the schoolmate pork cutlet bowl. I had a big bowl. Would you like to eat this too? Out of pity, Kotori offered Amane a pickled plum rice ball. Oh, thanks. Eat. Cease. She has quite the appetite, doesn't she? Well, to be fair, she hasn't eaten in 46 hours, so I can't blame her. Witnessing the Amane Mochizuki-style eating techniques for the first time, Agya is, as expected, pretty freaked out. Could be because the image of the beautiful and mysterious senior student that Agya had been holding on to was being completely destroyed. By the way, because we've had club activities from the morning, Agya has brought a lunchbox. Are there any other parts that we need? I asked Amane once she had calmed down after her meal. Only one. What is it? I can't get one no matter what I do. The truth is, it's a big problem. From the way she said it, we'd all get into position to listen seriously to her story. Also, if you guys want, I'll tell you guys more about my my time, at least the good times back in Japan when I was in high school. Those are okay. I'll tell more about clubs and shit after this. What does you need? Well, when Amane said this, she made a facial expression she would use if this were on TV, looking straight at the camera. Aren't you going to fly it? You flew it the other day. I'm not very good now. Also, last time I almost failed when landing and damaged the tail. Yeah. It's true, the tail has scratches on it. I don't have much confidence in my motor skills. Hang on. Could you come here for a second? Uh-oh. I call Amane over to an open space. Please try to do some repeated side jumps. Oh, okay. Amane tried some repeated side jumps like I asked. Boba! Amane, it's repeated side jumps, you know? Yeah, I know. Boing boing. I see you. Oh, you nasty little fuck. It's supposed to be repeated side jumps, but each time the number of steps is different and sometimes she turns her body. It should just be moving quickly from side to side, but it looks like some kind of terrible dancing. It's true, she's terrible. Without thinking, we all murmured in unison. It didn't seem that motor skills were that important for piloting a glider, but that level of clumsiness could make things pretty dangerous. No bully. Also, I have acrophobia. Oh, mood! Yo! Dude, do you know how hard it was for me to do the thing with acrophobia? Fuck no. Huh? When I go to high places, I get scared and feel dizzy. Then why the hell is she making a glider? But I have the qualification. You only need one document. In other words, she's been trying really hard. That's enough of the repeated side jumps. Yeah, I'm worn out. Amanda wipes the sweat from her forehead. She's a beautiful girl, so at least she's able to do those kinds of movements well. You simp. Yes. Suddenly Kotori raised her hand. I want to do it. I want to be the pilot. Ah, look at her. Look at how big her smile is. As Kotori vigorously volunteered, Amanda made a troubled face. Oh, come on, don't be like that. I'm sorry, but you can't do it. Well, why not? If I need to practice, I'll try really hard. I might not look like it, but I've got great motor skills. You can't push the rudder pedal though, can you? Rudder pedal. Kotori has the Neo. There are pedals in the cockpit. If you can't push them, you can't pilot it. Kotori moved back, dejected. Well, I'd rather not do it. I'm more interested in the making of it than flying. I guess looking inside the aircraft's cockpit sounds like she's talking about someone else. Well, at least one person. Yeah. I want to do it. If its motor skills are talking about, I'm fairly confident. Alright, that's decided. Oi, you will undergo training to become the pilot. Yes! And that is how I suddenly came to be the pilot. And then I also pass out because of the G-force. Yay! No, not just kidding. It's a glider. There's not a lot of G-forces there. Also, he's a cyclist, so should be that hard. Also, he can no be a nerd. We gotta be a nerd. He got a nerd, man. Come on. I'm glad you're enjoying the story, there you go. Nerd. Come on, cheer up. What? I am cheerful. Ever since it was decided that I would be the pilot, Kotori had been feeling down like this. Just because you can't pilot it doesn't mean that you can't fly. That glider is a double-seater. There are two types of glider cockpits, single-seater and double-seater. A single-seater fits one person, while a double-seater fits two. Ah, yes. This floor is made out of floor. Once I'm able to fly, you're the first person I'm taking with me. It's annoying how it feels like you're looking down on me. But I'll settle for that. Good. Alright. Let's prepare for dinner. Hello, we're back. I pushed the wheelchair as we go into the entranceway. Welcome back, Aoi, Kotori-chan. Hello. Kanako, thank you so much for yesterday. No, I'm glad it went well. I wanted to sort the Devons too, though. By the way, Kotori, she's here. Huh? Uh-oh. It's her sister, isn't it? Kotori-chan! Tush! As we entered the dining hall, with the force of the Saint Bernard from the other day, an unknown girl came flying out to Kotori. Oh boy. Oh boy. I'm sorry that I couldn't come back to see you. Kotori's older sister burst into tears as she held her and rubbed her cheeks against hers. Hold on. That hurts. Hibari. Let me go. Okay. Okay. I swear, I'm scared now. Every time a new character or girl is introduced, especially that sister, right? Like, oh my god, Ika, stop being nerdy! I'll tell that to the VN developers then. Tell them that they can do that. God damn, it's like we're trying to tell a story here. And making Kotori be able to fly is going to be a detriment to the story we're trying to tell. God damn! But yeah, I swear, if there was a... That terrified me when she said, "One," it's like her bigger sister, her older sister. If her name was Erika, I would have freaked out. I swear, one of these days there's gonna be a VN with Erika. Who is she? She's my big sister. Kotori introduced us in a way that implied I don't like doing introductions. Sis, this mean-looking boy is... Well, he doesn't really look that mean, but he's violent and gives courage. Yeah, hurry up with the introduction. He's our new dorm mother. Nice to meet you. I'm Aoi Minase, the current dorm mother. I bowed my head and Kotori's sister stood up quickly and straightened out her messed up clothes. I apologize for the late introduction. I'm Hibari Abane. I'm Kotori's older sister. She seems very proud to say that she's Kotori's older sister. I heard that there was a new dorm mother. Yo, she looks derpy. So I thought I should meet you as soon as possible. But I've been away from Japan at my job for a while. There's nothing special, but please share this with everyone. She gave a deep bow and passed me something wrapped in the paper of a famous Japanese sweets shop. Thank you very much. I was surprised at first, but she seems like a perfectly sensible person. She's gentle and seems like a nice... seems a little different to her younger sister. What did you buy? Sweet bean jelly from Mifune. Also, there's some ice cream in the fridge. Alright, as expected of my big sister, buddy. Kotori rushes straight to the fridge. You can eat that after dinner. It's fine, just one spoonful. No. Mean as always. Kotori looks like she's having such a good time. I had no reason to worry. Huh? What is it? Kotori. While Kotori had the fridge open and was rummaging around inside, her sister went over to her. I was so happy to see you that I completely forgot. Are you serious about quitting school? I can hear the aloof ara from her. Oh my god. It's a lot. The boarders are outside the dining hall. Why do you want to quit? Did something bad happen? If so, I'll speak to your teacher. I'm not going to quit anymore. Huh? I still haven't completely made up my mind though. I'm going to keep trying for a little while longer. I see. Hibari breathes a sigh of relief. Kotori, when you said you wanted to quit school, while I was away I kept worrying and worrying. I'm sorry for worrying you like that. No, that's okay. Oh yeah, she said she just now that she was working away from Japan. Kanako said before that her sister hadn't been here for a while. That was the reason why? Where did you go? On an overseas business trip. She's fluent in German, Spanish, and Swedish. I don't really get it, but that's amazing. I was against it, but the company ordered me to do it. She was only studying foreign languages as a hobby. If it meant that I couldn't see Kotori, I thought it might be better to quit the company. No, that would be going too far, sis. No, not really. Actually, I was supposed to have been coming back tomorrow, but I was so worried that I was at my wit's end and came back a day early. She said while clinging on to Kotori. So what really happened? Tell me everything. It's fine now, it's no big deal. It was like the May blues that people usually get 1 month after the start of the school year. I'd come 2 months late. Hibari looked down at me with tearful eyes. She was trying to say that if I knew anything, I should spill the beans. I think that everything's okay with Kotori. Today she went to do club activities even though we had a day off school. Club activities? We're in the Soaring Club, right, Kotori? Soaring Club? What's that? She's panicking. Wait. It's... Have you heard of gliders? Well, it's like an airplane that's used to fly through the sky. The sky? No, that's not it, Hibari. I'm not gonna fly, or rather, I can't fly. I was told just today that I couldn't do it. As Kotori desperately tries to cover it up, she glares at me to give me a signal. But that's right, we don't just fly, we build gliders and so on. I don't even know why, but I follow her lead. Really? Yeah, so don't worry. Hibari looked like she'd accepted it for the time being and didn't pursue the issue any further. Kotori seemed relieved. It was like there was some reason why she shouldn't be doing club activities. Anyway, something smells good. Since just now a smell that simulated my hunger had been drifting through the air. I've been making paella. I was taught how to make it while I was away. There's enough for everyone, so please enjoy. Okay, cool. Anybody's home cooking was superb. Paella Spanish style cooked rice with shrimp and shellfish. Oh, I don't know that actually. That sounds delish. Yo, someone make it for me. I'm just gonna grab the recipe myself. The perks of living alone is that you can cook whatever you want, although the downside is that you have to clean all of the fucking shit. Man, come on, man. I don't want to cook and then clean the dishes as well. Damn it. So it went down really well with the borders. Also, after the main course was dessert, which was sweet bean jelly from a famous Japanese sweet shop. It was perfect. Apparently, Hibari had been visiting Flying Fish Manor since a while back, and had been making food for Kotori and the other boarders. Since she was coming to help the disabled Kotori, she had been given special permission to come at any time by the owner caretaker. Thanks to her, the level of satisfaction with the night's dinner was exceptionally high. I'm full. You seem very familiar with Hibari. At the dinner table, Hibari was very open with not only his sister, but with all the other boarders. Yeah, you're right. Since Kotori's like that, she takes care of her as her big sister, doesn't she? I guess that's when she says like that. But when she says like that, she's not talking about her disability. She means her personality. As for souvenirs, she's always buys some for everyone. She's got such a cute little sister, she can't help but want to take care of her. While we speak, Hibari pushes Kotori in her wheelchair out the dining hall. Thank you for the meal, Hibari. It's okay, I'll clean everything up later, so you can just leave it there for now. Even though she had only just gotten back from an overseas business trip, she's got a lot of energy about her, despite her pretty and petite appearance. Petite? No, I can do that. That's right, after having such a delicious meal, you should do some work. He says it like it was all her doing. Kotori must also be proud of her sister. Kotori, give me a hand later, okay? And you ate that delicious food too, didn't you? For some reason, Kotori's reaction seems a little cuter than usual. Must be her sister's influence. Okay, before that, they're going to take a bath together. And also, we'll be sleeping together tonight. In separate beds. Huh? Why? Because it's really uncomfortable when you hug me when you're half asleep. I was looking forward to that, which is why I came back in such a hurry. Together with her sister acting downhearted, Kotori headed to the bathroom. I just noticed if two sisters sleep together in one bed and then hug, it's cool. When two brothers sleep in one bed and hug, though, when a brother and sister sleeps in one bed and then hug, oh, I'm not gonna think about it. As I watched them leave like that, I remember that Kotori was desperately trying to cover up the fact she's in the Soaring Club just now. Must be because her family would worry if she were to do anything dangerous. It seemed very unnatural to me and it played on my mind a little. Extend the little wings which fly in the sky highly. Alright, well, we'll save here. We just finished the prologue. I just finished the prologue. Oh my god. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright. You're reading too far into it. What? No, I'm not. Alright. Okay. So. Where Ika at, huh? Where the nerd at? Hey nerd, where you at? I'm here. Hi Ika. How you doing? And wrong thing is assignments, I assume. Oh yeah. Oh, that was great. Oh, I see I'm doing really good. No appearance of the duck though, which is sad. Sad. No duke. Damn. Oh, now I'm just gonna fall asleep. God damn. Alright, different music. I'm gonna fall asleep. uh, duck. I know, duck. Uh, it's fine. It's fine. Alright. But yeah, continuing on my story earlier, clubs were definitely fun. Well, in a way, by fun, I had a very weird definition of what fun is. Because like, oh, oh shit, oh, go minne. Let me just switch this out. I need to fix this the window that was a user. Anyway, yeah, there definitely were some like, how do I say this? My definition of fun was really broad. It was more like, hey, if there's nothing to do, then it's fun by me. So there was this time where, oh, was it the beginning? Because at first I was shy, right? I never wanted to go to the club in the first place. It was like, there was so much anxiety that I was like, okay. So there was one time I was just hanging around in school, and it was just like I was hiding, basically, because when club's in session, there are teachers that do roam around the school to make sure that students are doing their club activities and shit, and no one's just skipping. So I remember one time I was near the staircase. It was on the 3rd floor, on the eastern side of the school. There was a bathroom nearby, and I was like, okay. I saw a teacher coming. So I was like, shit, alright, go to the bathroom. so I went to the bathroom, and I was just waiting for the teacher to like go away. And then I looked outside. I looked outside the door, and the teacher was still there, just standing there near the window. So like, fuck, dude. So I decided, okay, this is gonna be this. I should probably just go to the club. So luckily the club was on the opposite end of the hall that I needed to go. So when I opened the door, and then I started moving away slowly, I heard the teacher say, "Huh? Wait." And when I heard that, I ran. I ran towards my club. I went 2 flights of stairs down, ran to the western side, and went to my club. I opened the door. I opened the sliding door closer. Immediately hid my bag. I hid my bag right on the corners near the locker, because the teacher didn't see my face. Okay, they only saw the back of like me, just a student walking, and they saw my bag, so I had to like hide it. So when I was there, the other students were like, "Huh? Oh hey, what's up?" I was like, "Oh, nothing, just you know, they just stared at me like, huh, what happened? So it's like, so I was just staring at my iPad now, like, uh-oh. Because I didn't, that was, look, I was anxious of going to the club, but at the same time, I don't think I want to get caught by any teacher, so I just immediately went into the club to a bunch of new faces, like, huh, oh, you must be a member. And then one of the club officers was like, oh, what's her name? I put it in attendance. I was like, oh, just put it there. So as I was on my iPad, I saw outside the window the teacher was going through each of the other clubs. I was like, huh, hello? Is anyone here? Did anyone just recently come here? I was like, oh fuck, they're gonna rat me out. They're gonna rat me out. And I'm like, shit. So I'm like, I was panicking. Then the teacher opened our club and was like, did anyone just recently come here? Like, run here? And then the other members was like, no. We've just been chilling here. And they're like, huh. Okay. So the teacher left. And I was like, oh my god. I was like, phew. And then the other members was like, huh. Fair enough. They just went back to what they were doing, like, oh my god, they saved my ass from getting in trouble. So it's like, oh shit. So man, did I get fucking lucky. But yeah. What else did we do? There wasn't a lot, but we did have a booth during festivals where people were allowed to go inside and have, like, we had this history of game consoles, like, lined up. So we were putting on, like, we had a Famicom, Super Famicom. Sorry. And we have some Sega consoles and the Nintendo. We got Nintendo's, Sega, PlayStations. So the entire club room was just filled with, like, monitors, right? We had converters. There was so much shit that people brought in, because it was the people bringing it in, members bringing it in, that we had to label every single cable with names, because there was so much cables and shit. Like, it was hidden, mind you. It was easy to like hide them from the public. But if you do look underneath the tables, we had cloth, a big green cloth over it. Look underneath, there were tons of, like, wires and cables running underneath. And man, okay, so plugging everything in was fine. It was packing everything back up that was a torture. Because you also had the everything was named, yes, but there's so many cables that was just haphazardly plugged in that they all just tangled within each other. And it took us an hour and 45 minutes to pack everything up. It was chaos. Like, people were, like, shouting at each other, like, yo, whose cable is this? There's no name on it. Or like, yo, but where's my controller? Or where's the disc for this? Where's the case? Yo, did someone forget to... Like, oh my god. So it's like, yikes, dude. So I was like, since I didn't bring anything there, my job there during that time was I was the one who was holding the it was a you know those old CD books? You know those old like zipper books that you can open where you could put CDs on it, like 2 CDs per page. So I was in charge of, like, holding that, because can't really trust people there. So I was holding that because I was on the the PlayStation section, right? I was like, okay. So yeah, plastic slide pocket. Yeah, it's like, so I was like, oh, okay. I was in charge of, like, whenever students would be like, oh, can I change the game? Do you have this game or that game? Because you had to pay to play there. There were like four, I think it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There was like 14 monitors there. There's basically 5 at the 5 in the widest part of the room. Sorry, there was 5 in the widest part of the room, and then there's 4. There's like 4 each on the left and right side. So that's 13, I think. Yeah, it's like 4, 4, 5. That's 8 plus 5. That's like what? Yeah, I forgot the math. That's 13. So on the left side, we had the classic consoles. You had a Famicom, Super Famicom, and then you had a Sega, a Genesis, and a Dreamcast. And there was also an N64. And then on the front, the widest part of the room, that was where we had PlayStations. There was a PS1, there was a PS2, there was a PS3, and that was about it. I think the PS4, was it released at the time? Because I don't recall seeing a PS4. Because after we had a PS1, 2, 3, there was also another PS1 there and another PS2. So there was like 2 PS2s, and only 1 PS3 in the middle. And then on the right side, for other monitors, there were random like consoles there. You had someone brought in a fucking Atari, mind you. So there was like the really old ones, right? And there were some handhelds there as well, like Game Gear and stuff that was up. So it was like, oh, there's so many wires and shit everywhere that's like, oh, this is gonna be chaos to like clean up. But yeah, it was like you were paying, how much was it? It was like was it 400, 500 yen? And then you're able to like play for like an hour, right? There weren't a lot of people like there wasn't really chaos in the terms of like people wanting to play, because like there were only a limited amount of stations, and then you also had the fact that it was like an hour, you could rent out for an hour. But there were people watching that just go in to just watch other people play games. It's like, oh shit, okay, this is fun. I had to stand the entire day. I had nowhere to sit down, so I was standing the entire day with the CD case, like just holding it, like hugging it to my chest, be like, okay, just waiting for people. Hi, whatever you want. So like, hi Nancy, hello, and goodbye as well, Nancy. So yeah, it was like one of those things where, let me just hide you. Bye bye. It's just like, it was chill, there's something nostalgic thinking about it. The whole like, I know I have a lot of negative memories back then, but the few that were good were pretty good. So there's something nostalgic. So nowadays I have this nostalgia for like just being in an air-conditioned room and just hearing like, you could just hear controllers, right? The sound of controllers being pressed, buttons being pressed with air conditioning and just lights everywhere. It might be annoying to some, but for me it was like nostalgic. Just thinking about it is nostalgic. So there's this whole like, oh, that was fun at the time. So this is also the time where I was also in the oh, Ika's gonna go mental. Ika's gonna go mental. But there was also the time I was also in the programming and robotics club, because during this was in 4th year now, where my advisor, the homeroom advisor, he recommended me to our computer teacher, because of my excellent grades and like just computer overall, the computer lab. I had excellent grades on programming, photoshopping, and whatnot. Because again, when I was younger, I was part of the Microsoft like Techno Kids program. So like I was already certified by Microsoft at second grade. At like a young age, at like 8 years old, Microsoft already was like, yeah, this kid's gonna go places. So what we had to do was because there was a competition ongoing for Tech Week. There's a Tech Week that we had to do, and one of the things that we had to do was program. This was, mind you, this was Visual Basic, because we also were competing with the lower years, because that was the only thing that they learned. So Visual Basic, we had to make a specific program and make it do like certain stuff. I think at the time we were tasked to make a login page that has a reset function and actually is able to work with the credentials that were listed on the and make sure that the database or the credentials were also like working, and that you could reset those credentials, the password for those usernames. That was the task. And we got second place. The second year students were too fucking mental. They finished early, and we finished like 3-4 minutes later. So again, we did get second place. So I was happy with that. There were 3 of us working on it, by the way. So after that, there was also the robotics competition. We were brought to the robotics lab and we were playing around with Lego Mindstorms. And we had to build robots that had to like do specific tasks. Like it has to be able to destroy this structure. It has to be able to pick this up and then drop it somewhere like this and that and that. So that was fun, because third group, right? There was a third group. It was me, two other girls from same grade but different classes. It was me, 2 other girls, and we also had like, I think we had a couple of kids there, because we were also teaching the grade schoolers about like building stuff, because they were also teaching them how to build stuff with robotics with Lego. So yeah, like a couple of grade schoolers there. So it was just me and 2 other girls, and then we were what we were doing was, since I was assigned the leader of group 3, I had to watch over the structural integrity of the robots. That a lot of the kids were like, oh, what if we put this, it was really wholesome, because the kids were like, oh, what if we put more wheels on it, because I was also in charge of programming the damn thing. So once the kids and the one other, because there was the other 2 girls, right? The one girl was in charge of assisting the kids in building the robot, and the other girl was in charge of assisting me in programming the Mindstorm set, because Mindstorms, at least at the time when I was playing around with Mindstorms, it has a GUI, right? It has a graphical user interface, and it was pretty straightforward. It's actually similar to Unity's to VRChat Udon, if you think about it. There were a lot of like branches and like arguments that I had to set to make sure that, because on the Mindstorm you can only save up to 4. I think you can only save up to 4 codes on it. So I had to make sure that the codes don't conflict with each other, because there was I don't know, because there was this we had an issue where the robot would start up and then immediately shut back down, and me and the other girl was just staring at the monitor. It's like, what the fuck is wrong? What's going on? And we were just confused, like, what's going on? So, and then I realized, wait a second. Some code from the previous task were carried over, and we didn't notice, because as we were clearing everything, some values were still kept the same. And I was like, oh, we didn't press new. We didn't do a new project. We just worked over the existing one. I'm like, we were so tired. It's like we forgot to press new, so we have to start over again because we don't know which values we changed. So I was like, oh god. So me and the girl kind of stayed after the class to just work on it. So it's like, oh god. But yeah, after that, she and I, we decided, okay, this is done. Because every time you have a new code, you have to plug in the Mindstorm into the PC, upload the code to it, and then unplug it, go to the Mindstorm UI on the robot, and then execute the code. I'll put it down, execute the code, and wait. Right? You can hear the motors, see it working, and then once you're done, she stop. And then you do whatever fixes you need to do. You have to plug it back in, wait for the code to upload to the Mindstorm robot, unplug it, and then keep testing. So after that, then came the competition day. It was us against four other classes, four other teams made of different classes, and we won. we got first place. We got a gold medal out of that. We actually got a gold medal. It's pretty pog. So yeah, we won the robotics competition for Lego Mindstorms, and it was so poggies, dude. Seeing our bot like navigate and just do the stuff that was needed to be done. It's like, oh my god, we did it so well. Like, it was really nice. Oh, sorry. It was really nice. So that tech week was like, so I got second place in Visual Basic Programming and first place in Robotics. I think I also have, let me check what date it was, because I know I took screenshots and posted it on my social media. I'm not gonna show you guys, but I'm gonna check what date it was on. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to scroll really far down because this is fucking... We're talking like, we're talking 2015 here. I should have a drone that has an SD kit that allows me to program stuff for it. Mini drones, nothing fancy. Ah, I see. I never played with drones. I do want to, but at the time drones aren't accessible just to the general public, right? Drones just only recently started becoming like more accessible to the consumer public. So yeah, at the time, I wish there were drones at the time. That would have been pog. Yeah, and here they're too expensive. Ah, I see. Yeah, it was 20... No, it was actually 2014. Ah. Okay, 2014 November. Okay, yeah. But anyway. DJ Adrena's on the skill close 10k. Jeez. That is expensive. But yeah. You know, that was one of the few defining moments of my life in school. Because I remember my homeroom teacher going up to me personally. He went up to me personally after the event was done. And I was about to go home, right? From school. I was done. I was tired. I finally got... Because the robotics competition was like right after the programming competition. So... But after that, after everything was done, I remember my homeroom teacher coming up to me, patting me on the back, and said, "Yo, you're going places. Like, you're really good at computers and you're really talented. So you should practice that. You're gonna go places, kid." Yeah, well, he didn't say kid, but he said my name. But still, I was like, It was one of the few moments where I was like proud of myself for actually achieving something in school, because most of the times either I was the really quiet one, right? And I also told you guys about the story of me developing a game, right? To showcase to the lower grades. So I had to make a game. Well, it wasn't that because it was a group project. It was a class project. It was like history of like any computers, right? So one of the projects, I already told this before on the previous stream before. So one of the class was divided into groups, and then we had to how to explain the history of computers. Some of them did PowerPoints, some of them did a recreation of like famous figures in computer literature, and then I was a Chad. I brought out my laptop and was like, "Yo, I'm gonna make a game," and they were like, "What?" I'm gonna make a game with an in-game museum that you can interact to showcase the history of video games. And then they're like, that is a huge undertaking. You sure you can do that? And I'm like, yeah. So I did. I made an RPG Maker game, pretty simple, really. Did the whole tile work and stuff, and it was a museum you could go to. Your character could go into the museum, and then there were a room for like Nintendo, Sony, Sega, whatever. And then when you interact on the console, it will show you which console, what year they were released, what they did, etc. So again, that's why my teacher selected me for the whole robotics and programming thing in the first place, was because that was my first ever like chance to show, hey, I can do this. You know, it's funny thinking about it back then that my work was more into software stuff, if you think about it, because I did want to be a programmer. I learned Ruby, I learned Python, I started in Visual Basic as well. But afterwards, it was like I just got more and more intrigued towards hardware. Back then I was purely software, like I said, Ruby, Python, Visual Basic, and then I was also playing around with iGPU drivers and modifying the drivers. We had the what we called what was it? I think it was called Project Aurora, where we were playing around with Intel X3100s. So an integrated Intel X3100 on a dual-core Pentium T3200, and I had to modify the drivers with it so that I said we unlock VRAM, because back then iGPUs were locked. VRAM was locked by like a couple hundred megabytes. So we were trying to unlock them and seeing how it performs in games, and sometimes they perform really well. We're looking at like a 10-20 FPS boost just for installing a modified driver. And it was insane. You know, but nowadays I'm more of a, hardware guy. I fell in love with hardware after tinkering with my laptop, because my laptop overheated, and I was scared because how do I open this? How do I replace thermal paste? When I finally replaced the thermal paste of my laptop, that was so hard to disassemble. I immediately fell in love, because the results of seeing your temps drop down and then being able to put back together again, it made me fall in love with like disassembling components and reassembling them back. And that's how I got into this whole PC building thing, how I got into hardware. Because being able to just take a blank slate, a case, put parts together, and then see it turn on is such an art that it's such a satisfying thing to see. Knowing that I built this. It's turning on and it's working. It's so satisfying, And that's why I fell in love with building instead of like programming. And that's why I decided, hey, I started tinkering with my mom's laptop. I remember because my mom went to the Middle East, and then she shipped me a laptop. And then she's like, can you here, you can use this for a bit, just this is an old laptop of mine because my mom bought a new one. And I'm like, okay, fair enough. So as I was using it, right, I was tinkering with it. I was messing about with like memories, the memory it has, and since it was actually one of the few laptops. Like it wasn't an old laptop. It was a Dell Inspiron 1525. So the CPU was replaceable. So I was looking around online for CPUs and memories to upgrade it with. I was tinkering with it. I was like, okay. At the time, I was experimenting with different thickness of thermal pads to see how the thermal performance was gonna be and thermal paste, because the laptop only has a thermal pad. It didn't use thermal paste. So I was also tinkering with that as well. It was nice, you know. It was fun. I eventually disassembled the laptop for parts. I took out the screen, took out the motherboard, took out the CPU, the RAM. I was just using it for parts, and I was also experimenting on it. I was experimenting on it for soldering purposes, because that laptop, it needed to be thrown away. It was old, it wasn't working anymore, so it was water damaged because I accidentally left it with an open window while it was raining. I didn't know it was gonna rain. The window was open, and so again, water damage. I decided to disassemble it. I was toying around with soldering on it. I was also messing about with like you know, desoldering and stuff like that, and doing some continuity tests with yeah. And that's about it. I eventually got into that, and that's where I am now. Soldering. Yeah, sorry, I said soldering, didn't I? Well, thanks for correcting me. I forgot. I haven't said that word in a while. I haven't need to solder anything for a while, but yeah. But it was nice. English is weird. Yeah. I mean, you learn new stuff every day. But yeah, after that was experiment that left and right. You know, and then that's it. Eventually, it led to me working with Hana at Dosfara, and that's pretty much where it went. Arkansas. It's called Kansas. Arkansas. Yeah, that's right. But yeah, it was great. I fell in love with that immediately. So here I am. Yeah, that's where my life is now. I eventually did go to university. I went to oh, hi, Corin. So I went to Kyoto Sangyo. It's fine. I don't need. It's not like I'm gonna be doxing myself here. So I went to Kyoto Sangyo University for a while. I studied. At first, I wanted to study psychology, but I dropped that, and I decided to go into. Don't ask me why I wanted to study psychology. But so I dropped that, and I decided to join the music stop. No loop. And I decided, since a friend of mine told me, hey, do you know that well-being enhancement technology is a thing? So I said, what's that? And he said, it's about making stuff more accessible. I thought you were going into computer engineering. Yeah, that's what I thought too, because I was jumping in between courses. That's why well-being enhancement technology was like where I went to. Because I wanted IT, right? No, I wanted to go IT. I wanted to do game development, Ika. I wanted to go into game development, game design and development, that's what it's called. But my mom couldn't afford it. It was an expensive course. Yeah, you're looking at 350,000 yen just for the entry fee. So I decided to do psychologist just for a bit. This is a course focused on game dev. It's called game design and development. It's its own its own degree. Literally game design and development, because the course the course breakdown was playing around with different engines, Unity, Unreal, and stuff like that. It was actually focused on game design, because the game design and development course also comes hand in hand with the people taking the graphics design course and stuff like that, because they had to work together. So that was expensive, and I eventually was just, it had a degree, it had a diploma, it was a bachelor's degree too in game design and development. But I decided, you know what? No, I can't. They can't afford this. So I decided to go psychology for a bit. It wasn't a full course. I just took some psychology classes, and about that, afterwards, my friend introduced me to well-being enhancement technology, where the goal was to enhance people who are disabled to use technology to be able to enhance their, to help train their other senses, especially for those who are newly disabled, and having stuff more accessible for them. I fell in love with that too. I fell in love with helping people and being able to make the how do I say this? To make designs, like controller designs for disabled people to be able to play games. There were games that I was interested in making, like games that utilized sound only for those who were blind, and games that were like visual for those who were deaf, a visual game that could like stimulate or whatever have you, that just helps them improve on their not cognitive, I don't want to say cognitive, on their other motor skills for those especially who cannot move. So it was great being able to work there. So it was a department, it was a school funded department, it wasn't a full course. So I was only in Kyoto Sangyo University for like give or take 4 to 6 months. And then after that, I dropped out because I decided, hey, we can't afford this. Like, I can't afford to keep going here. So I dropped out of university, and I told my mom, hey, just focus on my little sister. Use all of your money, mom. Just use all of your money. Use it on my sister. Make sure she gets the education she needs. Make sure she graduates. So I told my mom, you can't afford to put both of us in university, in college, so just focus on her. So yeah, I dropped out of college so that my mom could, financially breathe easier, so she doesn't have to focus on me as well. And that's pretty much why I didn't finish college or university. I did talk to my mom recently, and she said that once she gets the promotion, because she is getting a promotion soon, and by somehow late this year she'll have her debts paid off. She asked me Kyo, consider going back to university, or consider finishing your higher education, consider finishing college. And I'm like, I'll think about it. Because look, I haven't been in university for like, we're talking 2016. So I haven't been to a school in 5 years, in over 5 years. So I'm just like, do I really want to go to school again? I'm like, you know what? Well, I'll think about it. She's not forcing me to. She's just asking me to. She just asked me, do consider going back to school and finishing college or university, getting a degree. She's not forcing me to do it. She's just asking me to. So I'm fine with that. I'll think about it. I don't know what my situation will be 5 years from, a year from now, or whatever. I think you should really go. I know, but I'm just saying, like, will I even enjoy it? Will there even be a course that I want to take, As much as I want to consider finishing college and university, there's just like, there's a lot of things that the things that I want to do involve like PC building and stuff like that, doing video editing, Photoshop, and VTubing. I need this to work out. The entertainment industry, so it's like, I don't know. Welcome. So I don't know if I do want to go back to school. I'll consider it. I know. Like, my mom's not getting any younger. I eventually do need to find a proper stable job to support myself. I'm scared. No, not gonna lie. I am terrified. I'm not I'm terrified because I don't know what I'll do in the future. I'm lost. Because I already know what I want to do. I know what I want to do. I just, it's just hard to find like the time to like do those things. So I'm lost. Because I can't keep doing this forever, right? I can't keep staying at home all day and just playing games and whatever, right? I need to find a job. I need to support myself. My mom retires in like, she retires in like 10 years. She's got less than 10 years left of work, and I'm lost. Time is a precious resource. It is. It's something that you cannot get back. Time is something that no money or amount of work you can ever get back. So, yeah, when my mom told me, I should consider going back to school when she's able to afford it, and I'm thinking, because I want to work. No, mind you, I want to work. I love working on PCs. I love doing that. My time in Dospora was amazing. It's just, I never went out there and looked for those kinds of jobs anymore, because I was after that I was depressed. I was demoralized, and there were jobs that I was trying to find that cannot accept me because of my heart condition. So there's just, I was like, it's just terrifying to think that I don't even know where I go from here. It's like I don't know. I'm lost. I know what I want to do. I know what I want to do. At least I have a future that I want to do. I want to, it's just, from here on then, it's such a mess. It's just a blur. And having to like support myself, because I know my mom is supporting me as well. She's the one paying for my rent, and she's the one paying for my bills and stuff. She could barely even support me because she's in debt. So there's a lot of things that I was like, I'm just like, I always feel like I'm a burden to my mom, because I should be able to support myself. I just can't. I tried. Like, there was this whole like financial problem that I had last year, where it wasn't last year, but it was like 2020 to 2021, where like my mom was just sending less and less money. So I was having issues paying off medical and stuff like that. So I was like, look, I got lucky, okay? There were people who were financially supporting. There was someone who was financially supporting me. But that can't keep going on for too long. So I tried my best in the middle of that to find a job, to find work. I did not have the right connections because I'm not a social person. Like, I don't know who to go to. I don't know who to ask. So I went outside multiple times. Hey, like, what job could I find here? There was just nothing. Especially when COVID hit, that it just got harder to find a job outside. So I could not find a job. It was just, so I decided, okay, I decided to VTube. This was a distraction. VTubing, I started it to be a distraction because it was something I thought was fun and could occupy my time instead of being in bed all day wallowing in like calling myself useless or whatever. So that's why I decided to VTube. At least with this way, I had something to do. I could hopefully improve on this and, you know, just share games, have fun with everyone, meet new people. Which I have. Like, I've met a lot of new people through streaming. That's awesome. And now I'm at the point in my life. Well, it's too early, okay? I'm still pretty young. My mom's still young. But I want to do something. You know, more. So that's why I'm trying. That's why recently, I've been like working more and more, and like studying more and more on hardware and stuff like that. So that maybe someday I'll be able to apply these skills that I learned, and I don't have to like worry because I'm confident. Like, oh, I can do this. You know, I know how to do this. Because trying to stay positive in spite of everything is definitely the hardest. It's definitely the hardest thing that's just the hardest thing for me. So yeah, that's where my life is now. Yeah. Know way more about computers than me for sure. Yeah, then there's still a lot to learn. I remember when I wanted to upgrade to an AIO, I was so confused. Like, what AIO? How do I install this? How do I mount this? Is this okay? It's like, so you know, yeah. You know, I'm learning. It's fun to learn new things, and now that I learned about water cooling, very funny, Hana. It's just, you know, it's fun. I really enjoy learning new things and about computers, and that's why I'm in love with this field of technology. Early 20s always hard. Yeah, it is. Yes, water cooling is Okay, it depends, right? It depends. Okay, a 120 mil exhaust water cooler AIO will always be worse than a decent air cooler. But a 240 mil and 280 mil AIO will always be better than an air cooler at the same price. I'm just saying. Hey, it depends. Computer not working, smack. Oh god. Yeah. No, I was that kid. When my computer didn't work, I was just I turn it off and on again over and over and over. No, it's because a 120 mil only has a really small radiator and one exhaust, Ika. That's why it's always gonna be worse than an air cooler because we're also talking about the output, the heat output, right? Some CPUs output more heat because the TDP is like up to like, so my CPU is a 95 watt CPU. 95 watts in terms of heat, the output isn't too much for an air cooler. But once you start going to the 120 watt range, 150 watt range, I don't even know 150, that's when the heat output starts getting really high. And you need an actual beefy cooler. But you know, 120 mils are never worth it. Are almost never worth it. They're always gonna be outperformed by like a decent air cooler. Yeah. Submerged PCs. Ah, the mineral oil submerged PCs. Yeah. Those were a thing back then. I don't think people do it as much anymore because it was too painful to like maintain. When my dad's computer stops working and starts making weird noises, his solution is to put compressed air in a hole he finds and just blasts it. Oh. Special made liquid? I see. That's still gonna be a bitch to maintain though. I don't think, yeah, no. That's gonna be a bitch to maintain. That reminds me of liquid metal. So the best way, so there's this thing that that I avoid doing. It's dangerous. It's easy to fuck up. It's basically delidding a CPU, putting liquid metal on the die and the IHS, and then the heat transfer will be much more efficient. It'll run much more cooler. Liquid metal mercury, yeah, something like that, but it's a different type of liquid metal. So since metal transfers heat much more better than any thermal paste can, liquid metal works really well for like GPUs and stuff like that. But there are issues. Liquid metal is conductive, so if you spill it on the board or at any part of the board, you're fucked. You short circuit whatever you're working on. And the second thing that why I don't wanna mess around with liquid metal is is mixing metals, because aluminum or copper, whatever heat pipes you do, some manufacturers use mixed metals for their heat pipes, and since heat sinks need to connect to the die for liquid metal, there's a chance of mixing metal will cause it to corrode. So corrosion is a high possibility with liquid metal. That's why I tend to avoid it. Like, it might be better now. I'm not as informed with liquid metals, so take whatever I say with a grain of salt. But that's at least some of the downsides. That's why I avoid it. It does have the best heat output, though, so. When liquid metal... No, liquid metal is liquid. It's supposed to melt. It's supposed to be liquid. It transfers the heat from the die to the heat sink much more efficiently, because heat transfer is measured in... Is it in watts? Hold on, I don't remember the unit. It's Kelvin, right? Hold on. It's Kelvin, kilowatt, what? It's a K. What is it called? It's watts per meter Kelvin, sorry. Yeah. So thermal conductivity is measured in watts per meter Kelvin. Naturally, the higher it is, the more heat it conducts, and the faster it is to dissipate heat from the source or the die. So if you're looking at thermal paste or liquid metal, you should look at the watts per meter Kelvin, WMK value. The higher it is, the better it is. That's at least the layman's description of it. There's more to it than that, but yeah. Liquid metal is the best in terms of like conducting heat, being able to transfer from the die itself to the heat sink and then eventually to the exhaust, to the fans. Well, computers, nah, I don't know. A computer doesn't explode, but the power supply can. You'll know when the power supply explodes. There's gonna be some magic smoke and you're gonna smell it. You'll know. It's the magic smoke, the blue smoke. It's called the blue smoke, yeah. You better hope that if a power supply breaks, that none of your components were affected. You better hope your GPU is fine, your motherboard, and stuff like that. What games can be run before the computer literally dies from too much heat? I don't think that's possible. Because computers on a BIOS level, it should not explode. Once it gets too hot, it shuts down to protect itself. Like, you cannot disable that. Speaking of PSUs, yes. This PSU fried and his GPU is dead. Ugh! Yikes. Like I said, you better hope that if your PSU dies, that it doesn't go down lane and affect the other components. But the GPU dying? Oh god. If you're lucky, only a hard drive or an SSD will fry. But if you're unlucky, like your friend, a GPU or the motherboard might die. So he has a warranty on the PSU. What power supply is it? Mind asking him what power supply it is, and how much wattage it is, and what components he was running. What if the internal fan breaks off? You replace it. And by the time the fan breaks, you'd be replacing it anyway. So for context, I've been running my case fans for like 5 years consistently, and they're still running. The bearing is the one that's first to go, and it should stop, but if the internal fan breaks, it's still gonna shut itself off because of heat. Motherboards have inbuilt thermometers, sensors, that if any of the components get too hot, it shuts down. In fact, here's a fun fact, your PC won't even turn on if there's no CPU fan connected. Fun fact, yeah. Try pulling out the fan on your CPU header. Pull it out. Pull it out to simulate a CPU with no fan. Your PC will refuse to turn on. Yeah. The motherboard will be like, oh, no CPU fan is connected. I won't let you turn this on. Because you're gonna break shit. So yeah. Turn on and automatically turn it off instantly. Yeah, your Nintendo Switch is overheating. Yeah, if the fan stops, then the system will shut itself down to prevent overheating and damage to components. I would suggest getting it sent to repair, getting its fan replaced. Either that, or there's tons of dust in there and the fan's refusing to spin because of it. That's where compressed air comes into play. I've opened my Switch before. I've opened it before to replace the thermal paste, replace the batteries, clean the fans. So it's kind of iffy console to open up. You know, you need specific screw driver for it. The tri-wing, but yeah, it's fairly you know, it's fairly doable. I just got a new. Oh, I mean, yeah, whatever works. You're not gonna ask your friend Nia? Yeah, fair enough. Remember this the Switch OLED. I see, I see. Yeah, your old Switch would have been an easy fix, but hopefully you didn't throw it away. Hopefully you gave it to someone for them to fix, because there's a huge issue with e-waste. I am an avid advocate of trying to reduce e-waste and the right to repair. If it's possible to repair your shit, please don't just throw it away in the trash. There's so much e-waste in landfills now, it's just not helpful. We're just contributing more and more to the, you know. So, again, if it's possible, give it to someone, have them fix it, or, you know, recycle it, whatever have you. Ah, you gave it to your mom. Doesn't play it often enough over. I see, I see. That's fair. Rin, good morning. I forgot it's already 6 a.m. here in the Philippines, isn't it? Whoops. I overstreamed. Usually just sits on the shelf with no charge because it just bleeds dry eventually. Yeah. I have a launch switch that I bought when the Switch launched. And yeah, the battery did run dry and I had to have it replaced. So I bought I bought a battery, a Switch V1 battery, and just replaced it. Got to work a little later. I see, I see. Hopefully work goes well. I was just telling my stories back when I was in Japan and stuff, and the future that is terrifying. But you know, it's all work out. It's all work out. So. So I woke up and so I could catch the end of it. Yeah. I was pretty late to my stream. I was supposed to start at 1 a.m. my time, but I fell asleep and woke up at like 3, so I kinda was 2 hours late to stream. Wanna play Gunfire tomorrow? Yeah, sure. Neo, you up? Gunfire tomorrow? I'm cool with that. No problems here. Okay. Alright, well there you go. We good for tomorrow. Alright, Gunfire it is. Same time as the stream? 1 a.m. for me, which is 12 p.m. EST. Same time as the other Gunfire streams. I started the stream late, so same time. My stream time is always the same. Let's just hope I don't fall asleep. I'm stream return. Alright, fair enough. Alright, well, I'm gonna end stream here. Before I get too depressed talking about all that shit. But okay. Oh, I do appreciate you guys dropping by though. Thank you so much for dropping by. Guess where our works today. Good luck with work, Gunther. Hikazuchi-san, Asian, Kun, wrong guy, Kimi, that one guy, Neo, Ren, Gunther, and that's only guy. Okay. お、見てくれてありがとうだよ。また次によ。Have a great rest of your day and night. Be kind to each other. I love you all. Take care, stay safe, and I'll see you guys on the next stream. またね。Bye bye.